Good morning. Welcome to ODI once again. This is year number 7. I know that there's a lot more of you who are going to be coming. I know there's a lot of you that are watching via our live video stream. I'm Dolly Wolf. I'm so pleased that you're here. It means a lot to us that you're here. It means that you're committed to, putting yourself out there, to, connecting with other people, network, hear what's going on from some of the smartest people in the industry. So congratulations to you for being here. How many went to a Halloween party last night? Not too many. How many are going to one tonight? Okay, well, all right. Okay, but you're here, and we thank you so much. So we want to thank our sponsors so much, because obviously we can't do this without sponsorship. This year our supporting sponsor is from Spectrum Networks, who's, I believe, in your backyard. Heavily involved with the program today. So we're excited that not only are they going to host their own panel to close the day, locally grown is what it's called, but they are going to host a HR table in our Ask Me Anything lunch session. We have Katie Lombardi, who's going to be part of the Welcome to the Industry panel, and we have a focus group that's going to be happening too. So thank you so much. Thank you, Cable Center. Thank you to Nova. Thank you to Fordham Gabelli School of Business. Thank you to HBO. Thank you to Discovery. These are folks who support us all year round. A&E Networks, thank you. I don't do this program by myself. I couldn't. I have support. If you folks would join me up here. These are my official One Day Immersion Board of Directors, and certainly more than that. We have been together since we launched back in 2012, plus beyond that on academic initiatives. They all raised their hand and said, yes, I believe in, connecting these students with careers. We want to see the industry full of bright, talented people. That's you. And so it's an honor to have their backing for sure. This is Craig Parks. Craig is GM of Jukin Media, and you can read everybody's bio on the ODI website. He's got a loaded day today. Next to Craig is Miss Sunita Henderson. She is Vice President of Development and Marketing with SCTE and ISBE, which is on the technology side of the world. And Robert Miner. Robert Miner is Miner and Co. Studio. Robert runs his own research and analytics shop. Robert is a busy man today too. He's going to be co-moderating the panel in Ask Me Anything, hosting a focus group, and super busy. Evan Shapiro, who will get introduced further, is president of National Lampoon. How many have heard of National Lampoon? How many know that name? Awesome. Well, he's rebuilding. He's rebuilding in a major way. Evan is also chairman of our board. He is your host today, so you'll see him a lot. Hosting a comedy panel, makes sense. Will be at Ask Me Anything host. And then also he and Craig are going to join the Great Streaming Wars panel at the end of the day. So we also have our favorite dean in the whole wide world, Dean Neil Braun with Pace University's Lubin School of Business. So I want to read because I don't want to mess it up. And this my 2 cents to you is, if you really want to not forget anything, write it down and read it if it's super, super, super important. So I wanted to share, I'm going to bring him to the stage because he's going to help open the day with our theme of navigating the competitive landscape. So we'll try to weave that theme throughout the day. But he's going to focus on that and give you some thoughts and insight. But before he does that, I just wanted to share a couple things. I like to go back and read his bio because it's not only incredibly impressive, his career, but it reminds me of why we clicked over this program. He's had an illustrious career in media, and as dean, you can just tell, you can just feel his number one priority is getting his students the best education and opportunities available to help you succeed. He wrote in his dean's letter, whenever I sought to add a member to my team, I looked for a certain set of traits: a strong work ethic, the ability to communicate clearly, the acumen to apply previous experience to new situations, integrity and reliability, and persistence. These are the qualities we look to develop in every Lubin student. So I just thought, God, how fortunate students have been for the past 10 years to have a dean with that as his goal. And we recently learned that Dean Braun is transitioning to Dean Emeritus at the end of this year. I'm sure it was a difficult decision for him to come to, and we wish him all the best. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of One Day Immersion, we'd like to give you a little something to help you celebrate this new transition. And we congratulate you and thank you. And so would everyone please welcome up to the stage Dean Neil Braun.
Thanks. Morning, everybody. And thank you very much for that, Dolly. One of my proudest accomplishments as Dean was the development and launch of the BBA in Arts and Entertainment Management. And providing the One Day Immersion a home here at Pace has been a cornerstone of building that program to over 300 students. And we're now getting ready to launch the Masters in Arts and Entertainment Management next year. So thanks to Dolly Wolf and the ODI Executive Committee for our continuing collaboration. So although my background is in media and entertainment, I'm going to leave the discussion of the industry to the panels and guest speakers today. I want to talk to you, the students, about you. I meet with students regularly, and in the few minutes I have, I want to summarize some of the advice that I've been told has been most impactful for them. First, if you want to pursue your passion, the first thing you need to do is pursue excellence. It's by being really good at something, you get a seat at the table wherever you want. When students ask me how to get into this business, my first response is to be very, very good at something else. Because every one of these firms needs accountants, needs HR people, needs marketing people. If you want to get into I got into the business as a lawyer. So be really good at something, because a lot of people want to be in the media and entertainment business. And so to compete, just be really good, because that demonstrates what kind of person you are. And every firm needs accountants and HR people and marketers. The accounting firms have marketers, the marketing firms have accountants. But once you're in the firm, you can demonstrate the traits that help achieve your excellence, and people will give you more opportunity. Second, connect the dots of your past to make them relevant for your future, and they're all relevant. I'm reminded of the MBA student who sat with me a few years ago, wanted to work on Wall Street, but hadn't done any internships in finance, and was worried that there was nothing, that he was not going to be able to compete for a job. So I asked him what he had been doing with his time, and he told me that he worked in a family business. And I said, okay, well, tell me about the business. So they had two delivery routes for Boar's Head delicatessen meats. And I said, okay, well, what did you do in the business? He said, I did everything in the business. I worked in the warehouse, I worked with the suppliers, I worked with the customers, I worked with the drivers, I really learned the business. I said, well, have you looked at which investment bankers and private equity firms specialize in the delivery of perishable goods to consumer points of sale? He said, no, I hadn't done that. Well, I said, don't you think your expertise might be valuable to a firm like that? He hadn't connected those dots. I have meetings like that with students all the time. So think about how everything that's happened to you in your life is relevant for what you want to do. I talk to students who've only done retail or been lifeguard or worked as bartenders. I said, well, did you ever have a difficult boss or having to say no to a customer? Coworkers who are slackers? What did you learn about how to be effective in those situations? What did you learn about yourself? Those are all transferable skills and knowledge that will demonstrate to people that you're ready to help them add value. Third, think of your difference as your competitive advantage somewhere. Where can you add the most value? If you're from another country and are fluent in both languages, which businesses can take advantage of that? Last spring, a senior came to see me. She didn't have a job at the point in time that she came to see me, and she was getting nervous, so she wanted some career advice. And I looked at her resume, and it was excellent. She'd done all the right things, and so it was really a matter more of persistence. But I asked her to tell me something about herself that was not on her resume. And the first thing she told me was that she was a black belt in karate. And I said, well, why isn't that on your resume? That tells me you're persistent, that you pursue things to a level of excellence, that you're strong and a willful doer. That's the kind of person I want working for me, and that's the kind of person most people want working for them. That's more information about you than what your major was or anything else on your resume. I became president of the NBC television network by explaining how my background in every other aspect of television could add value, even though I had never worked at a network. I became dean of Pace's Lubin School of Business, even though I had never worked in a university before. In fact, I didn't even go to business school. I went to law school. But I used my different experience to make the case that I could add unique value. Fourth, use what you've done to demonstrate who you are. The process of what you've been through is every bit as important as the content. Recently, just a few weeks ago, a student was in my office, and he was telling me that his passion was stand-up comedy. For the last 3 or 4 years, he's been doing stand-up comedy, but it wasn't on his resume because he didn't think it was relevant to getting a marketing job. I said, it's not about whether you're funny or not. It's not about whether you're successful as a comedian. It's about your ability to observe, synthesize, and translate into something clever. It's about your resilience when you bomb. It's about your personal growth over multiple years of standing in front of a crowd, being vulnerable, and learning from the experience. That journey tells a potential employer very relevant things about who you are as a person. So pursue excellence in something so you can get a seat at the table to demonstrate your potential excellence at other things. Connect the dots of your past to make them relevant for the role you want in the future. And they're all relevant, but it's up to you to think about how they're relevant and to make it part of your narrative. Think about how and where your difference can be a competitive advantage. Make the case that you can add value because of your difference. Whatever you've done, karate, comedy, or anything else, it's about your journey, your personal development, and the growth you achieve by doing it. That's what's relevant. Use the journey to demonstrate your excellence, your resilience, your proactive approach to life. I have a PowerPoint slide I keep on my desk in my office that I show to students when they come to see me. And the title is 10 Things That Take No Talent. Showing up early, good body language, volunteer when something needs to be done, being coachable without being defensive, smile. I'm amazed how many students I have to say, you know, you haven't smiled once at me in the whole time we're meeting together. Makes a big difference. Smile is an important communication. Use everything you've done to demonstrate you're the kind of person that people want on their team, and keep being that person, and doors will continuously open for you. So I wish you really good luck. I want you to enjoy the day. And now it's my great privilege to reintroduce Evan Shapiro. Evan is co-chair of the One Day Immersion. He's the president of National Lampoon, as you've heard, which is a comedy studio for live performance, film, TV, social, and audio. He's an Emmy and Peabody Award winner. He's produced more than 150 television series, specials, or documentaries, including Portlandia. His most recent production was Funny Woman of a Certain Age for Showtime, and Trump Bites, the Webby Award winner for Best Animated Series. He's a professor for TV and media at the NYU Stern School of Business, and he's a great guy. Please welcome Evan Shapiro back to the stage.
You're very fortunate to have those of you from Pace. Who's here from Pace? That's not what I want. I want to hear you. Who's here from Pace? All right. You're very fortunate to have Dean Braun around. He has unbelievable insights, as you just heard, and we cannot thank him enough for all the support of this over the last 7 years. So we just heard from Pace. That was kind of a lame cheer. I know there are other students here from other schools. Who's here from Fordham? This is a contest. Who's here from Hunter? Right. Kennedy Catholic High School. See, that's how it's done. Gen Z beats millennials all the time. Stevens Institute of Technology. No one? FIT. Drexel. SUNY New Paltz. Northern Virginia Community College. All right. Pace High School. Nice. Western Connecticut State University. I think traveling maybe the farthest, Syracuse? No, they didn't make it because of Halloween. Who am I missing? St. John's? Right there. Who am I missing? Frostburg State University. Columbia University. Yeah. Snooty Ivy Leaguers. All right, and we have a ton of people from around the country streaming in. When we started this, streaming in wasn't a possibility, and now we have William & Mary, Wake Forest, Virginia Commonwealth, Bowling Green, Syracuse, Queens College, Pittsburgh State, Roger Williams, and Adelphi University all streaming in right now. Dean Braun mentioned how to differentiate yourself. You've differentiated yourself by coming today, by showing up, by being here. You've put yourself in a room full of professionals from the industry who actually give a shit about the industry, and they prove that by coming here and meeting you. They're here to learn as much from you as you are from them. And so as you see those of us, I refuse to wear badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Not all of you are old enough to remember that quote. When you see somebody with an Ask Me Anything badge, when you see executives at the lunch today, be brave. Walk up, say hi, smile, as Dean Braun mentioned. Ask a good question. That's what they're here for. Your opportunity to improve your own chances of success in this business started by walking through that door today. You know, lots of people go to college. Not everyone is here today. Your opportunity to take that next step, that next journey on your career path to wherever it is you wind up is really just a handshake and a good question away. There are people here today who took my class at NYU, came to this thing a few years ago, and then got a job from an executive or a person they met here today. Looking at you. And the opportunity to meet someone in comedy or research or distribution or local news sits here on the stage, but then walks into the lobby and is making themselves available to you. That is an opportunity unto itself. Your challenge today is to make sure that you take advantage of that.